Following Batman Arkham Shadow's most recent success with the launch on the VR console, it has been confirmed by WB Games that we are going to be getting new Batman games. Now, I haven't read any articles on this yet, so I'm seeing this for the first time as you guys are. So this should be very interesting to see if we can actually get something that's on console, or does WB want to continue to go on the VR? But the thing is, I think that WB wanted to wait to see how the Batman Arkham Shadow would have done on VR. Because if it's successful on a console that, let's be honest, not a lot of players play on, then I think WB would want to jump on the back of that success and almost cash in while they can. That could be a good or a bad thing, but I want to look at this article and I want to see what they have to say before I make any judgments. So let's start off with Fear Not Batman fans. More games based on the Cape Crusader on the way. So, good start there. The superhero genre has had a massive shift in the last 15 years or so, thanks to the major changes in film and gaming. Blah, 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 blah. Batman fans were treated to a much better game in the form of Batman Arkham Shadow, following this freaking massive flop of Suicide Squad on the brand new MetaQuest 3. Now, you know how I mentioned before about how there's not really a whole lot of players on any sort of VR, let alone the MetaQuest 3, specifically the latest one. I doubt a lot of people have that one. I bet it doesn't even make up like 5% of the gamer fan base. Honestly, like I don't know too much about the stats on that, but I imagine it's a very small portion compared to PC, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, anything else that you can think of. But we carry on here. Warner Bros. CEO David Zaslav spoke about the future of gaming at the company during a recent earnings call via Inside Gaming, and it sounds bright. So they're jumping on the back of it because they realize how good of success Batman Arkham Shadow had, so now they want to carry on. I hope that it's not a greed thing, that they don't want to just cash in. I hope that they actually want to tell a good story, but we'll continue going before I make any judgments. Zaslav noted that the gaming division plans to focus on its proven franchises, which include Hogwarts Legacy, Mortal Kombat, Game of Thrones, and DC, but in particular Batman. So in particular Batman, because Hogwarts Legacy flopped pretty quickly. Mortal Kombat and Game of Thrones, I'm not too sure about how those games were, how they sold. I imagine they had pretty decent sales, but I don't know how good the games were. And I want to clarify Hogwarts Legacy flopping. I never played the game personally, but the game died very quickly. I don't see anybody talking about that anymore. But Hogwarts Legacy 2 is already in development. But the fact that they put in particular Batman, like I just said multiple times, they're cashing in on the back of that success, which I said could be a good or a bad thing. And will connect in some capacity with HBO's upcoming Harry Potter TV series. Yeah, I don't care about the Hogwarts Legacy stuff. It's also no surprise that DC will be a focus for the gaming side, especially with Wonder Woman on the way. Yeah, I guess with Wonder Woman stuff, but Batman's a much larger sell than Wonder Woman. I don't think as many people are interested in Wonder Woman. However, there have been no official announcements about other DC games beyond that, which, honestly, for me personally, I don't really care about too much. But it doesn't say so far about what console it'll be on. And that's the thing I want to know about the most. What console are we going to be getting about this on here? If we could just continue on here. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League did kill Batman off, but it has been hinted that he will return in post-launch content. It's speculated he will return when Deathstroke gets added to the game. Nobody cares about these add-ons that Suicide Squad's adding. They're continuously breaking canon. If they're going to bring Batman back after they killed him in the game, they brought the Joker back. That breaks continuity in the most basic sense. Even if you don't follow continuity that thoroughly, you would still know that breaks continuity because Joker died in Arkham City. Everybody has seen that by this point. Thankfully, Roger Craig Smith has already established himself as a worthy candidate of taking up the role of Batman. Yeah, so we don't really have, anything confirmed with consoles. So that's what I want to know. Is it a console Batman game? Because WB, to my knowledge, have not created any VR games. Not that I know about, at least. So which would tell me it's on consoles, but I just hope that they don't just tarnish Batman Arkham's reputation for the sake of a big payday. Now, you could argue, well, that's what companies make games for in the first place. Yes, that is true. However, it's still important that they actually care about the product they're making. Otherwise, it's just going to go downward hill from there. And it's what I've talked about before of it could kill an entire franchise with one bad game. It's like when a TV show goes on for too long. I'd rather see the Arkham series wrap up and come to an end before it's too late and before it's been going on for so long to the point where people lose interest. I've said this multiple times, I want to start a new franchise, especially following Batman Arkham Shadow. There's not a whole lot of wiggle room to work in there unless you want to go between the events of Arkham Shadow and Arkham Asylum, but you're starting to run out of wiggle room there. And if you go beyond Batman Arkham Knight, when Batman died in Suicide Squad, like, is that canon, is it not? It's so confusing how everything's gone on at this point. But I just wanted to get my thoughts on this. My biggest concerns, money grab, obviously. But not just money grabbing, but I just want a good quality game from either Rocksteady or WB. Because we saw what happened with Suicide Squad, and the same thing could easily happen with a new Batman game. Honestly, keep the combat the same as either as Arkham Origins, City, or Night, and I will not complain. The combat's not going to be the biggest concern for me personally. The biggest concern is going to be the overall story, at least in my opinion.